Hi peeps and welcome back to the channel. So I know I'm a bit squinted at the moment, using my old gimbal, and yes, we're in the room, so there's so much going on a Sunday. So on today's video I'm going to try something a little bit different. Okay, this is like sort of a couple of shorter videos based on a sort of the same theme. So I can't even remember what that was called, but here we go. So it's, as you'll see from the video title, what is the restorative approach? Okay, restorative approach is something that we use in schools. A lot of schools have been trained in this, but then individuals have come in and they're perhaps not trained on it. Now, although that I haven't been officially trained within schools, I have done my own research on the restorative approach. And the fact that I am a parent of 17 years and been working with children for 14 years, using something like the restorative approach. I didn't even know what it was called when I started using it, but I've been using this to try and help and navigate children through times that are difficult, perhaps when sort of more bullying or aggressive behaviour is used. So basically unwanted behaviours are cropping up from the school or the class. And the reason why I've said this is that as you're starting your brand new year, you may have seen things popping up already. Okay, so what is a restorative conversation and when would you use it? So Education Scotland, in their parent zone, interesting how it's used in the parent zone, have said, what they have said is when an incident happens, basically it requires investigation. It's about why it's happened, what we can do about it, and how we can move on. Okay, now in Education Scotland it gives you examples of the kind of questions that you can ask. Basically, something's happened, it's not been very nice, and you need to have a restorative conversation. Okay, that can look like you speaking to the child on their own. Now, I've sort of categorized it into more simple, a little bit more complicated, and most complicated. Okay, so simple, it can literally be where, I don't know, someone's got, you know, the other day someone smacked somebody, kicked somebody in the bum. That's what it was. Kicked somebody in the bum, and basically I said, you know, they came up, oh, so kicked me in the bum. Right, okay, well, tell me what happened. Well, I was sitting and they kicked me in the bum. Right, okay. Did it feel hard, or did you think that they meant it, or was it an accident? No, they meant it. And it's at that point I would get the other person over and say, right, you know, reports of kicking in the bum, what happened? And well, I was trying to sit down and accidentally kicked my leg out and it kicked him in the bum. Right, okay, so that's our first question. What happened? The next question is, what were your thoughts at the time? Well, I was just trying to sit down. And what are your thoughts now? Well, I think maybe when I was trying to sit down, I would give a bit more room. Who's been affected? Well, little Karen has been affected, and she's now got a sore bum. Okay, so what do we need to happen now? Well, I need to make sure I take a little bit more care and I say sorry. Okay, right, so all we have to do is, you know, you need to let the person know, you've kicked me on the bum, by the way. Oh, I'm really sorry. Done, dusted. And that way they can move on together and they can get on, okay? So that's the sort of simple thing. A more complicated sort of scenario might be, you know, oh, I just, and it's usually the sort of simple and more complicated is comes from younger years, I would say. I'm saying younger years, not always, but maybe it's the case where he said, she said, you know, but it's taking it a little bit further, so you do need to take action and it's a bit more serious. and then you're going to be having that same conversation. And then to the most complicated, which is perhaps where it's happening to several members of the class. It's more violent. It's happening to an adult in the room. There's more aggression. There's more, sort of bullying behaviour. That's the more complicated. Who would be having those kind of restorative conversations? As it's in the parent zone, you would think that obviously the parent is going to be having those kind of conversations with their child. But also, it could be the adult in the room, whether it be the teacher, PSA, or the senior leadership team. And those are the kind of people that can sort of have that conversation. Okay, so in essence, in this sort of series, I'm going to be sort of detailing in the next video as to why these conversations are necessary. Why would you have these kind of conversations? If somebody has done something wrong, it used to be the case where it was very much the case where you would be more punitive, and you've done something wrong, you're staying in, you've done something wrong, you get the belt, you've done something wrong, da, da, da. Okay, one of the key things that I think is really, really good about restorative conversations is that you find out the full stories. I am very, very keen, and I tell my kids that if somebody comes up and tells me something, okay, I will ask them, I'll make my own judgment on it as well, but I will ask them, is this a big deal or is it a little deal? Okay, now what might seem a little deal for us will be a big deal for them. Okay, so that's something to be mindful of as well. Okay, so this big deal, little deal thing, be careful with it. But what I'll also do is, if there's more than one party involved, I'll actually have a conversation with both parties, find out what the issue is, because sometimes it's the case where one party is just trying to get the other party into trouble. And I always say to the kids, I'll be more annoyed if you're purposely trying to get somebody into trouble and it's maybe being an accident, like the example I just gave, then I might be really upset about that. Okay, or if you lie, if you don't tell me the truth straight away, then I'll be upset about that. The truth is always the best option. But I'll always start with the question, what happened? Tell me what happened, and I'll get each person's perspective without the other one interrupting. You've had your turn. Just give me a second. And we tend to get the truth out more that way and allow the opportunity. So that's what a restorative approach is and when you would use it. Okay, and as I said, in the next video, I'm going to talk about why we would need to use these kind of conversations, what is necessary for it, and how we can really get the benefit out of it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.